Coming up, Disney makes a massive deal for the NBA, and that could have major repercussions for Disney+. Plus also talking about the success of Inside Out 2 and some thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. Hi, it's Roger here from What's On at DisneyPlus.com. It's time for a quick Disney Plus news roundup. So let's start off with talking about the success of Inside Out 2. Disney has officially confirmed that the film is now the most successful animated film of all time, beating previously record of Frozen 2. It's now over 1.4 billion, and it is, well, it's kind of a bit of a weird one with this one because it's overtaken Frozen 2, obviously beat out Super Mario Brothers, which was the recent one, but there's a kind of a big asterisk over it because sitting at about $1.6 billion is the 2019 version of The Lion King. Now, Disney referred to this as a live action film. I mean, there is maybe one live action shot at the beginning with the sunrise, but the rest of it is pretty much all CGI, it's all animated. So a lot of people are kind of saying, not quite, but so it could maybe do it. Another 200 million? I don't know. I don't think it's going to be heading to digital or anything anytime soon. I think it's going to continue to pull in money over the summer. It's only just about to open up in Japan this coming week. Here in the UK, the kids' holidays have literally just begun, like this weekend. So they've got the whole of the summer. The cinema was packed this morning with kids going to see Inside Out 2 and also Despicable Me. I don't think that so many of them were trying to get into Deadpool. But yeah, I think this is a huge hit for Disney. This definitely puts them back at the top. Deadpool and Wolverine is going to have another great weekend. I can see that happening. You know, and this whole thing about sort of winning cures everything. Yeah, with Pixar picking up a massive win, biggest animated film of all time. I didn't think that was going to happen when this movie was coming out. I thought it would do well. To be honest, I thought if it did half of what it did, I thought it would be really good. But it has done amazingly well. And yeah, Disney are definitely riding high with a massive win. It's exactly what Disney needed. It's exactly what Pixar needed. Just kind of getting them back to the top of the chart. Just getting them, I think it's going to have a massive effect over on the company of going, look, we can get back to being the top. We can still be the top dog. But they are having to make changes. They're having to kind of move a little bit more to the center, not trying to annoy anyone, trying to do stuff that will entertain first and messaging second, and that seems to have worked with Inside Out 2. I think we're going to see that moving forward, but big win for Inside Out 2. Yeah, can't really complain. So like I said, I'm not expecting this to drop onto Disney Plus for months, because it's only been about 6 weeks since it came out in cinemas. They did say it was going to have at least 100 days in cinemas, so we're probably only about halfway there. So yeah, I'm not expecting it to probably maybe November. Yeah, if you want to go see it, you might want to go see it at the cinema. Shifting gears now, let's now talk about another film that's heading to cinemas pretty soon, and that is A Complete Unknown. This brand new film follows Bob Dylan as he goes from a folk singer to becoming a massive hit. Now, this is a movie, I'm not going to lie, I don't really know Bob Dylan's music at all. So this is kind of going in for me of like, I don't have that idea of like who he is. He's not one of my favourite artists or anything like that. Whereas like when I watch something like Queen or the Elton John one, those I wanted to know more about it. I like that aspect of it. So this one's very different for me. I'll be going in kind of blind to it. And it's just be an obviously an interesting story. I think it will be good. It's coming out in cinemas in December in the US, January here in the UK, and I expect it then to drop on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus in the US and on Disney Plus around the world later next year. I thought it looks interesting. Again, this is definitely for me. This is not one I would go see at the cinema. I don't have that desire to kind of find out too much about Bob Dylan's history. But it's definitely one that the second it drops on Disney Plus, this is one I will definitely be checking out. Yeah, it looks really good, but it's for me just not something I'd go see at the cinema. But let me know what you think of the trailer in the comments below. Let's now shift gears and talk about some sport news, because Disney has done a major deal with the NBA. So they have managed to secure an 11-year deal. So they're going to be getting access to the NBA from 2025 right through till 2036. And they've also managed to get the women's NBA rights right through till 2036. Now they've already got a previous deal in place, but this new deal kicks off next year for the season. As part of the deal, they are getting loads and loads of new matches. This will also be able to go on to ESPN and the brand new direct-to-consumer version of ESPN, which is set to launch next summer. So yeah, it'll be nicely tied up with all this. And the idea really is that they're bringing the full version of ESPN within Disney Plus, no doubt at an additional cost. How they're going to work this with ESPN Plus, whether or not they like rebrand it or do something, I don't know. Definitely a little bit confusing with what they're doing. But yeah, they're getting the full version. Obviously, it's going to cost a lot more. They are also going to be adding an ESPN hub to Disney Plus in the United States later this year in December. They've already done it last month in Latin America. And part of this deal, which is really interesting, is that in select countries around the world, we're also going to be getting the NBA on Disney Plus. No word yet on how that's going to work. Now, here in the UK, there's a deal still in place with TNT Sports for the upcoming season. So it might be another year until we see it. But if different countries are going to be all over the place, it's also going to be airing on different versions of ESPN that they have internationally. But yeah, they've got all this international rights. Also, it was revealed that NBC Comcast has also picked up the second package. So Disney's got the most expensive package with the most amount of matches. And then Universal and Comcast, etc. They then have the second one. But also, just as important, Amazon has picked up the third package. Now, that was previously held by Warner Brothers Discovery, TNT Sports. Amazon had tried to get it. Warner Brothers had come back with a counteroffer. The NBA has said, no, we want Amazon. Again, all that stuff is going to be global. These matches will be all over the place, which is probably what the NBA wants. They want it to get out to as many people as possible. Yeah, I suspect there might be even a lawsuit or something goes in place with Warner Brothers, but I don't know how that's really going to work. They might have a contract and they've been a partner for a long time, but if they might be able to match the money, but I think Amazon being able to be everywhere and stuff. So there's going to be a lot of matches. There's also going to be all the women's matches as well. Loads of stuff. I think this is going to have a major implication on the future of ESPN as a brand for Disney Plus globally. I think we're really going to see that coming in. When they announce this stuff, because they've still got college sports, they've still got lots of other bits and pieces. They've got deals with the XFL, etc. So it would be, I think we're going to see ESPN becoming a massive part. It's going to be basically the 7th hub of Disney Plus around the world very, very soon. I think once it launches in the US, we might get a version of it. But so there's going to be a lot of basketball heading to ESPN and Disney Plus over the next 11 plus years. Big deal, lots of great stuff. Obviously, if you enjoy basketball, this is a big one. But let me know what you think. I think we're really going to start seeing sports becoming a major play on streaming as they move away from linear. And also, as the streaming services have realized that sporting events are the best way of getting advertising, people tuning in for live events also do so very differently to like on-demand stuff. Netflix has picked up wrestling. There's also Apple are picking up bits and pieces. Amazon, they're all going after the big plays, and they all really kind of want global rights. So big changes within sports, but let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Shifting gears now, I'm just going to share some thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine. So I'm not going to go into any spoilers or anything like that. I'm going to keep this one spoiler free. So I've been to see it this morning because it came out. I was there for the first showing at 10 o'clock. This is a lot of fun. I absolutely loved it. It's stupid. There's loads of funny bits. I really was laughing. I haven't laughed this much for a movie in so long. It was so good. Loads of one-liners, lots of little quips. If you like the Deadpool humor and that kind of thing, you're going to love it. It's extremely violent. Loads of blood. Loads of just killing. Yeah, so if you like all of that, and if you like the previous 2 Deadpool movies, I think you're going to love this one too. I thought it was great. Is it the best movie of all time with regards to Marvel? No. Is there loads of cameos and little tweaks and little nods and little stuff and some real big surprises which I don't want to get in on, and I'm really glad I've got to see it today. So some of these ones, I know that they're going to be all over the internet. Yeah, if you haven't gone and seen it today or over the weekend, stay off social media, put in the mute words for Deadpool and Wolverine. But there's a load of cameos in here that are fantastic, a lot of fun. I loved it. I just really enjoyed it. It was fun. That's the kind of thing. It is not going to win an award, but it's and I think that's the kind of thing. It's Deadpool being funny and full of violence, and that's what I want from Deadpool. I'm not expecting some serious stuff. I'm not expecting anything like that. How this interlocks in with other events and stuff, who knows? But all I know is I had a smile on my face the entire movie. I walked out grinning, and I really enjoyed it, and I had a lot of fun, and that's what I wanted, and that, I think, is the key thing. If you want something serious, Deadpool is not for you. You know, that's just the thing. You should know that going in. You can just tell from the advertising campaign and the previous movies. If you do not like that, you're probably not going to like this movie as much. But for me, I love those movies. I just watched them again on Disney Plus this last week to get ready. I've watched, basically now, the last 3 days, I've watched the Deadpool movie every day now for 3 days. I loved it. Yeah, just more Deadpool. It was fantastic. Absolutely loved it. But let's now jump into the comment of the day. Aaron asked, this year on November the 12th, it will be the 5th anniversary of Disney Plus, which is a pretty big deal. So will they do anything special to celebrate it then? And will there be any classic TV shows or anything like that added? So I definitely think the 5th anniversary is something that they will want to promote. Whether or not this is a big major release on the day, maybe they do like a promotion to get people to sign up. That's probably going to be about it. Maybe a little bit of merchandise, maybe. You know, they could do that on like Shop Disney and something that you can order in, so it takes a little bit longer to be made. But generally, I generally feel like Disney are not the best when it comes to anniversaries because they have so many of them. Every single day there is some movie or something is celebrating a big anniversary, and sometimes they're big enough to warrant having merchandise, sometimes they're big enough to have an event, you know, and I just don't think a 5th anniversary is going to do much. I think they might acknowledge it. They'll obviously do some little trailer and maybe do like a half price offer for that week just to try and get some more sign-ups and take advantage as a publicity kind of thing. But honestly, I'm not expecting anything. I think the days of them pushing this thing, 5 years is also not quite enough either to be meaning anything in some ways. It's a bit of an odd one. I'm not expecting much, if anything. And with regards to adding classic content and stuff, I think we're very much at the point of the past few years have shown me that I have got no faith in the fact that they are going to add all these shows and movies that people keep asking for. Because if they thought there was value in them, they would have already done so. They might throw us a bone and do the odd ones here or there. Maybe they do something like it. I've just got zero faith that that would happen. They've given me no inclination that this could happen. Yeah, I mean, I know there's a lot of people asking for these kind of like legacy shows that they remember as kids and stuff. The simple truth is there's probably not as many people there that are really interested in these shows as you might think. If they did, they would do something about it. The fact that there's often no merchandise, they've got to spend money on doing it up and getting it restored, all the rest of it. They've got to pay the people that created it, residuals, those kind of things, licensing for music. The simple truth is that product, that show coming back, is it going to have enough views to make it? Is it going to make any money from advertising? Is it going to make any money on secondary market? Is it going to get any sign-ups? Now, I think with regards to like old ABC shows and 20th century shows, something that's more aimed at adults has got a much better chance of being restored than kid shows, because at least with the adult stuff, they can also put in adverts so they can get extra money. They can then also sell those shows onto fast networks, Netflix, etc. for additional money as well. So I actually think in some way, like proper TV shows for adults have got a much better chance than kid shows. I just don't think with kid shows they've really got much interest in doing it, and they've got the ones on there that are working, and I just don't see it. I could be wrong. I think they might throw the odd bone here or there, but old like ABC shows and 20th century shows, etc. have got a much better chance because they can make money off them in a much easier way. Like, you know, it's like we've seen like with Moonlighting and other shows like that. But let me know what you think of this. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, just let me know what you thought of today's news, the NBA, Deadpool and Wolverine, Inside Out 2, etc. Love to hear your thoughts and all that. Check out yesterday's video where I talked about the, doesn't look like we're going to be getting an Eternals 2 movie anytime soon, which is kind of surprising. A lot of people seem to be quite happy with that. I was not. But on that note, guys, thank you very much. See you guys soon. Laters.